Hi everyone, welcome to the first group of the semifinals. I'm your caster Big Fan. Today we're gonna have a PvP. Our first player up, none other than KaL. Now KaL's been doing really great this tournament. He's beaten a lot of strong opponents as well. So I do expect that he'll be a tough challenge for Jangbi. Stat-wise, there isn't really much sample to discuss for PvP here, but his PvP stats from 2007 were around 50%, so okayish numbers, not the greatest, but not too bad either. On the other hand, his Protoss opponent is going to be Jangbi. So likewise, Jangbi had done great for himself this tournament, beat a lot of strong opponents too. PvP again, there isn't really much stats here, we're still looking at 0% because it hasn't been any games played. On the other hand, his 2007 stats, they're about 20%. So you can kind of see the difference between KaL and Jangbi. KaL seems to be the much better PvPer compared to Jangbi, who's more potent in the PvT matchup from my perspective. So this series seems to be in KaL's favor. Of course, Jangbi is not someone that you can write off. So we'll have to see what he has prepared for us. First match will be on Loki 2, fighting So our Protoss player at the 2 o'clock spawn is going to be Jangbi. And our red Protoss at the 8 o'clock spawn is going to be KaL. So PvP, we haven't really had many PvP games last series this tournament. The most prominent one that comes to mind was I believe it was Anytime versus KaL in one of the earlier rounds. So we'll have to see what kind of strategies both players will be pulling off here. Again, this map does have the back middle expansion, and we've seen a lot of different varying strategies, anything from the gateway expand to the robo expand. So I think both of those are possible options on this map. One other thing to keep in mind, again, 2-player spawn map, easy to spot your opponent. And obviously the little choke in the middle will make it a little difficult for things to move along, so you can't really fit Dragoons through this, you have to go all the way around basically. So that's important to see. Whoever can maneuver around that in the later part of the game will probably have a better advantage. Now both players have opened up similarly so far. We'll have to see if they take the gas around the same time as well. One interesting thing, we can see KaL's probes going all the way up to the top. That's interesting. So it looks like it's going to be a proxy as might be coming in at this point. Could potentially be another gate, or could also potentially be for like a robo later on as well. Alternatively, there is a chance it's for scouting too, although it is definitely on the earlier side. Oh, and it looks like Jangbi has added in a second gateway as well. It's very interesting. So we'll see if it's going to become 2-gate versus 2-gate. Will end up being 2-gate versus 1. But that proxy pawn is definitely interesting. So we'll have to see what KaL intends to do with that. Now another player has taken the guess if I'm not mistaken. So I can only presume that KaL either intends to kill that probe and expand. Or no, it looks like KaL was actually planning to expand to his bottom expansion, which is definitely not a bad idea. Now keep in mind he does know about the 2-gate. The question is, did he end up adding another gate of his own? And I don't believe anything. Yeah, it looks like he's still on the 1-gate right now. Jangbi is also aware of this as well. He's casted with the probe. We will have to see what kind of action. Yeah, and he puts down his own as well. Now, considering that Jangbi did end up putting in the second gate before getting the Nexus, the assumption here is that KaL probably had kept up his pro production so he would have a better economy, plus his Nexus did go up a little faster. On the other hand, this does mean that Jangbi will have quite a bit of Zealots. Now, I love the Zealot placement by KaL. This means that the Zealots will have to kill the Jangbi Zealots will have to kill that one Zealot. It's going to be a one-on-one basically. So whoever gets the first hit will be in the better situation. This will also buy KaL more time to get more Zealots up if he needs it or more units. But you can see he's getting up his second gateway as well. So both players, nothing really major. I still again love the KaL's position, just looking at the whole picture so far. It feels like he's the one kind of dictating the game, especially with the opening up the way he did with the gate expand. We did see what was the Robo come down in Jangbi's base, and KaL will scout it. Oh no, I mean sorry, the core in Jangbi's base. So they're pretty much matching, pretty close right now in terms of the opening, aside from that little difference. And KaL's done a fantastic job with this probe, still alive, and scouting, getting him a lot of information. So Jangbi actually honestly has to kill this ASAP, because the more time passes, the more it's going to delay any kind of tech or any kind of plan he has in mind. But of course, Jangbi is also doing a great job with his probe in KaL's base. So both players are doing a great job so far with the worker micro and a lot of the scouting early on. Although I presume when the first wound comes out from either player, that probe will be killed and denied. And that's when we start to see variations. So Citadel of Edwin, I like this. There's a good chance the DTs are going to be coming in. Robo comes in from Jangbi. Now, the question is, what kind of a follow-up will this be? Is he going to go for something like a reverse ASAP? He's going to add observatories, basically, the observers. Because depending on how fast he gets the observatory will build faster, so you can get observers out in time for DTs from my perspective. Would you see the archives coming in? Would you see the Robo as well? I would love something like an elevator into the main from KaL. But he is coming quite a bit to this as well. Jangbi hasn't scouted this, he doesn't really know what is coming his way. Robo is almost done from that is good, so this is the important part here. We're gonna have to see what... Oh, and that is a beautiful probe, beautiful paneling at the bottom. Looks like we're gonna get actually another expansion, no? Looks like KaL's gonna back off for now. Yeah, observatory. Okay, perfect. I think this is a great idea. This is great. So this means that even if the DTs come, as long as he has an observer within the vicinity of his main or expansion, he can direct it and minimize as much damage as possible. Of course, keep in mind that this means that KaL will have access to High Templars with Storm and Archons as well. So let's give him a bit of an advantage there. It looks like Jangbi, though, is content to just sit back and grab his own in base. Now, I do anticipate we'll probably see eventually Reavers come into play. Now, there is a DT on the map. This DT will probably more than likely kill the probe. Oh, but the observer moved just out of range. Oh, and from my perspective, this DT should honestly not be revealed. So yeah, I think KaL is doing the right move, pulling back just out of the range. But looks like the DT has been spotted. This is going to pull some units back, but looks like Jangbi is aware of the potential for the dropship, basically. So he is pulling back. Now, the question is, I don't see any observers, there's no cannons here at this expansion, so this DT can go to town on these. Oh no, it's actually a storm drop. Oh wow, and that is a fantastic storm. And the shuttle has been saved. Hatompa is still alive as well. So that was a lot of probes killed for Jangbi. So this puts KaL in a fantastic position economy-wise. And he is grabbing his own in base behind it as well. Now, nice pick off from Jangbi, but KaL is in a great position as well. Or in a much better position. Plus, he does have the high Templars as well. So there must be Reavers in this shuttle here. Oh yeah, there is a single Reaver as well. This is going to be extremely important. So if Jangbi can micro this really well, he can do a lot of damage here. He's probably focused on hitting the Dreadlights. Okay, beautiful storm though from KaL. Another beautiful storm as well. And wow, a lot of those goons are soaking up other storms as well. So this is definitely not what Jangbi needed. Jangbi should honestly probably be targeting the goons from my perspective. Shuttle has to stay alive as well. So he will scout the in-base. He'll get the one probe kill before going out, so a bit of good intel. But again, Jangbi still, from my perspective, in a bit of trouble here. But he does have his in-base expansion built. He is building probes as well to try and recover. On the other hand, we did see that KaL has only just finished his own as well. From my perspective, I believe just a bit better micro there on Jangbi's part, especially if he was able to dodge the storms. He probably would have had a good chance to kill the army there and potentially retreat after that or do a bit of damage at the expansion. I don't think it would have been game ending, but definitely would have at least helped Jangbi out a bit in terms of his position overall. So we can see KaL adding a couple of cannons in his back expansion. Definitely not a bad idea. He knows the shuttle speed is finished and he knows that Reavers are out as well. And he knows there is a good chance that Jangbi would try and drop the back expansion, especially if he decides to attack the front, you know, like a diversion of some sort. So it looks like KaL is going to be pushing up the hill, and he does have enough units to actually break this. And you can see that all the plans around the map they are going to be giving KaL a lot of intel on Jangbi's army movement. So I would say they are paying off in dividends in this case. And more than likely there is a Reaver coming in as well. So we might be seeing Reaver on Reaver action very shortly. But looks like, yeah. And establishing the high ground there, what this means is that KaL can definitely take a fourth base there. Now there is 2 shuttles coming in here, there is 4 can, there is a lot of units as well. So it's more than likely Jangbi will lose both of these shuttles. We'll see how he has to do a lot of damage here as well. So 2 Reavers are out. That is a lot of probe kills as well to start things off. There is a beautiful kill as well. Oh, and he actually saves both shuttles as well. So fantastically done from Jangbi. That's exactly the kind of play he needs. One thing though, he needs to keep these shuttles alive. He needs to make sure they don't get intercepted. And they have been scared by the probe. Now, of course, there is a big attack coming in from KaL. Now, Jangbi does have a lot of UC. I think he will be able to defend, especially if the Reaver's coming from the back. But there is a beautiful shot on top of the Zealous, a beautiful second storm as well. And we see the 2 Reavers are back here, so KaL will have to pull back as well. He can't afford to lose goons or a part of them, because that will give Jangbi an advantage there. So beautifully done by both players. Good decisions so far. Fourth is being taken by KaL. And that is a really nice, some nice storms as well. You can see 12 kills too, so quite a bit. Of course, nice prod as well from Jangbi. Oh, but that is quite a few army coming in from KaL, but I don't believe he's going to engage. The army is full of zealots. And those 2 Reavers will make mincemeat out of those zealots, basically, especially if these Scarabs contact. Oh, but this is a beautiful concave that's coming in. The two Reavers have been dropped. We'll have to see what the storms are like. So first Reaver gets his shot off. That is beautiful shot. Second is coming in as well. Is beautiful too. These are beautiful Reaver shots. So KaL has to pull back basically. But there's another army coming in from the bottom as well. So it might be a second. No, looks like he is going to be pulling back. But those again are also beautiful storms as well from KaL. So both players have been using their AoE pretty effectively, I would say. Now, from my perspective, I believe Jangbi does have a bit. He can probably push up the high ground there. High Templars are out as well. Especially with the two Reavers which are still alive as well in the shuttle. With some good control, I believe he can definitely kill that base. You can kind of see a lot of the army for KaL is Zealot based. Between the Storm and the Reavers, that's a lot of AE basically. Personally though, I would prefer if he actually looped around rather than go up the high ground. At least get a couple of wins from that side. But it doesn't look like he's going to do it just yet. That is a beautiful storm though, but nice dodge as well. And keep in mind, we have 5 High Templars here, so that's easily 5 storms from Jangbi, potentially 10 or more, depending on just how much energy they've banked. So Jangbi's position now is looking nice, especially with that storm drop that he had, or Reaver drop. Oh, and that is a nice storm as well, just to ward off some of the units back. Now, I believe Jangbi was +1 on attack, and it's +1 as well for KaL. Oh, okay, those are some beautiful Scarab, but this, the first Reaver is done. That is beautiful, beautiful storms from Jangbi. That is a lot of damage on KaL's unit. Now, of course, Jangbi does have to pull back, but he does have more and more storms. A beautiful storm as well, so just a storm fest tonight. And they both are up in the same amount of upgrades, so no upgrade advance for either player. Now the expansion has been finished for KaL, so KaL has started marking the expansion if I'm not mistaken. On the other hand, Jangbi's expansion is just finishing now. Oh wow. Beautifully done though from KaL. That was a nice, really nice catch basically. And designing this 5th base is extremely crucial for Jangbi. But there is a lot of Archons and a lot of units moving out as well. So it looks like KaL wants to prevent Jangbi from taking this base here. Personally, I don't think he can actually do it. Attacking at the high ground, especially with that many storms. But we also have to wonder if the expansion of Jangbi is now vulnerable as well. You can kind of see the army movements all over the place. And yeah, Jangbi is aware of this. KaL will have to pull back as a result. On the other hand, bottom right is being taken by KaL. And considering that Jangbi doesn't really have any vision of this, he actually might get away with it. It's not something that Jangbi basically like. So it looks like there is a bit of an upgrade advantage now. +1 armor has finished for KaL. Jangbi doesn't have any armor upgrades just yet. So it's 2-1 for KaL and 2-0 for Jangbi. Oh, this is a nice cannon position as well. This will help protect with the ramp as well. So this is more than likely a storm drop coming in. And we'll see what have the reaction. So no reaction from KaL as well. And KaL's 4th middle line is decimated. We only see a couple probes left basically. So nicely done by Jangbi. Again, keep in mind, bottom right looks like it's going to be finally get scouted by Jangbi. So this is big. Jangbi does not want that base to start mining as well. And considering how close it is to his in-base, a storm drop will easily kill a lot of probes there as well. Now, of course, Jangbi is taking a top left himself, but there is a huge army coming towards his expansion as well. And this, the army is out of position, so KaL has a nice position here. He is pushing in. I believe Jangbi will have enough once he gets his units back in. That is a beautiful storm on top of the Zealots. Another beautiful storm too. And more units are coming in from Jangbi in the back as well. So this is going to be really close. but looks like KaL is pushing his way through. There is a lot of Archons as well. Beautiful Storm. We have to see some more Storms as well. So this is going to be close. And looks like Jangbi might just have enough to push this back. Great. Extremely great. Keep in mind, again, Jangbi is establishing his top left. Oh, and looks like there's actually a couple of cannons at the high ground right outside. Okay, so it looks like this. That's interesting. So personally, honestly, I don't know about this. I think a couple of cannons is not a bad idea to help there, but cannons are stationary. I personally much prefer that might be put into fighting units. Oh, and a storm drop as well. And this is beautifully done from KaL. He's pulled away a lot of the units as well. So it looks like what, 3 probes, 4 probes at best. So not the best storm drop, but this was a nice pull from KaL. Now I do wonder how aware. Okay, so it looks like Jangbi is aware of the photo cannons there. So we'll have to see what he decides to do. Looks like he actually is going to be pushing straight up. I don't think this is necessarily a bad idea. We'll have to see how many units there is. So there is 1 storm there. And I believe there's a single high Templar there as well. So what does... Okay, so more and more units are coming in. I think Reavers would have been great here for Jangbi. So we see though KaL's army is extremely small. But there is more and more units coming in the back as well. So the splits have to be on point. But this is beautiful storms from Jangbi as well. He's been just littering the field with storms. More and more storms are also coming in. And this is going to force KaL to pour back. So his 4th is in trouble here. And if this base goes down, he is going to be going down to just the 1 base mine on the bottom right. And I believe his in-base and expansion are starting to mine out at this point as well. So probably our 2-base-ish mining. Compared to Jangbi, who will basically at least be able to maintain a better base count at this point. Now there is arbiters here. I'm personally curious to see if we're going to see any kind of stasis or even any recalls. Likewise, we'll have to see. Oh, interesting. So we actually see a nexus for Jangbi coming in at the previous 4th base of KaL. Very interesting. Jangbi's arsenal is looking more and more fearsome and is 3-1. Looks like on the other hand we have 3-2. So KaL still has an upgrade advantage now. It's in the attack or in the armor. So 3-2 versus 3-1. But the army of Jangbi is huge basically. And I don't know if he knows about the arbiters just yet. So he's going to be seeing the arbiters soon. The storms will have to be on point. Beautiful, beautiful storms as well. The arbiters is dead ASAP. More and more storms are coming in as well. I believe Jangbi is going to easily win this engagement. More and more Zets are streaming in from the back as well. So KaL is fighting back. And looks like Jangbi is going to come out of this victorious. The last couple goons for KaL are going to be pushed back as well. And personally, I feel like Jangbi also should head straight to the bottom right location. And will obviously be hitting the 6 o'clock at the same time because he knows that those 2 locations, especially the bottom right, they are mining, and if he cuts off the income for KaL, or at least nerfs the income, he'll be in a much better position. Of course, there is a lot of cans. There is another base coming up here as well. I feel like, okay, so he's definitely going to be breaking this because he does have an advantage. So he's going to be denying this base here as well, and looks like KaL is going to be giving it up as well. So he's going to be losing the Nexus, he's going to be losing a lot of the cannons and the probe as well. But on the other hand, KaL is counter-attacking. Is he also going to be killing Jangbi's own base as well? So again, my perspective, bottom right is the key here. You gotta kill that basically. And from my perspective, Jangbi does have a huge army as well, so you can also easily kill that base. Now I can see what looks like a big exam is going to be taking place in the middle of the, or near the 6 o'clock. That's beautiful stasis, though. That's a lot of units that have been caught, basically. Nicely done by KaL. More and more stones are going down, though, and I love this. All walking through through. Okay, more and more units. So Jangbi, even with the stasis, looks like Jangbi will still have enough, basically, to push us back. And wow, that's still a lot of units, basically. And you can kind of see what I mean. There's literally 2 units here, but there is more and more reinforcements coming in from KaL. So Jangbi has to be careful. He doesn't want to get his army cut off from between both sides here. And I do wonder how many storms he actually had. But you can see more and more Jets are coming in. So Jangbi should definitely be able to break this location. And if he breaks this, that will mean that he can also break the bottom right as well. And keep in mind the stasis will be wearing off very shortly too. So this base is going to go down. More than likely, bottom right will go down. Of course, there is arbors in the mix as well, so we'll have to see if there's any energy for the new arbors too. So it looks like, yeah, Jangbi wants that base dead. That base is finished now as well. I don't believe there's any observers here. Okay, perfect. So we see the observer come in. Extremely important. Now, I feel like at this point, especially with how big KaL's army is, yeah, so Jangbi should just camp the high ground here, build up his force a bit, and then push the right side, basically. He just can't afford to lose his army. But he is looking in a really, really nice position as well. And if he kills, again, this base has a lot of properties that are going to be dying. Oh, and beautiful Arbiter Snipe too. So this base is going to go down. And it's more than likely a storm drop here. But you can kind of see the economy is extremely... this was essentially the last base, last mining base for KaL. So it looks like Jangbi will be taking our first game. Really nicely played from both players. Extremely back and forth as well. Now, Jangbi is obviously doing what, or KaL is doing, from my perspective, a last-ditch effort. But once this army is dead, I believe we're going to be seeing the GG, especially with how so many news coming in. So GG gets called, and Jangbi will be taking our first game. So with the first game done, let's get our second game started. Map is going to be Zodiac, fighting so our Orange Protoss spawning at the 9 o'clock is going to be KaL. So KaL did play a nice game in the last nice game, but Jangbi was just a bit better, so we'll have to see what he's able to do this game. On the other hand, Purple Protoss, 6 o'clock, it's going to be Jangbi. So nicely played first game from both players. Once again, we'll have to see how both of them will open on this map. Keep in mind there is an iron expansion that could work as a third base as well, but of course Reavers can also try to dump pretty hard as well. So we'll have to see if either of them would actually use that kind of if either would use that kind of a tactic, maybe like a quick third. Very doubtful though from my perspective. Our lone PvP that we saw was actually on this map, and which involved basically Reavers. I believe it was either 1 or 2 gate robo openings, so I'm expecting something similar to that game as well. Now scouting wise, we'll have to see what the scouting pattern is. If things go as usual, then KaL should be scouting Jangbi first, while Jangbi will scout him last, so that at least will give KaL a bit of an advantage, because he will be able to find out what Jangbi is up to. On the other hand, the scout will be denied if a Zealot or a Goon is out by the time the probe gets into Jangbi's base, or into KaL's base. Now, it's more than likely we will probably be seeing the core get up ASAP for KaL. I do wonder if he will get a Zealot to start things off. But yeah, the core is going down for KaL. And same thing as well. So they are matching each other. So it looks like Jangbi is going to be scouting KaL. KaL still hasn't scouted Jangbi just yet, and he actually went clockwise. So I can see the probe moving out. More than likely, we will be seeing GomTV pop out because we haven't seen Azal come in, and we see a second gate as well coming in for KaL. Still in the single gate for Jangbi. I do wonder if we're going to see the robo from him. So the goon is out. Looks like the probe will get into the base, but the goon will be able to deny. Yes, beautifully done. So the probe doesn't see there's any other things in the back. I don't even think the probe was envisioned of the second gate as well. So this was definitely a nice one for KaL. Jangbi does add a second gate. So it seems very similar to well, in reverse of last game, because last game we did see that Jangbi was the one who added the 2 gates, but Robo is up for KaL. So yeah, this is looking similar in some aspects to last game, just in terms of the opening, because we did see last game, as mentioned, Jangbi was the one who went for the 2 gates first, while KaL stuck to the 1 gate before expand. On the other hand, KaL was the one who went for the 2 gates now, and Jangbi just kind of followed suit afterwards. I'm interested to see what Jangbi himself is going to do. I do expect a Robo being put down, but there's always a chance that Jangbi might just do an expand, like a 2-gate expand as well. Now, one thing regarding the Robo, keep in mind the distances now. These players are in close spawns, so if the Reaver comes in, it'll have easy access to the mineral line of Jangbi, so this could do a lot of damage. And a lot of Jangbis are front. Of course, there is an observatory going down, so it doesn't look like the Reavers are going to be coming in just yet. But they will more likely be added in from KaL. One thing I would love, again, just another elevator into the main if you have a shuttle that's available. Robo is on the way, almost finished for Jangbi. So that's interesting. I wonder if KaL is trying to hard his goon count, basically, because you can see a couple of goons in the back as well. So Robo Bay is finished. We'll be seeing Rivers very shortly. And looks like, yeah, observatory into probably the Robo Base. So Jangbi's Rivers won't be as fast for obvious reasons. We will have to see if KaL's able to actually do some damage, because I can kind of see that's a lot of probes at Jangbi's main. So a single Scarab, tons of damage to his economy. So more than likely we're going to be seeing a big move out once that Reaver comes in, basically. Just could easily be a push at the front with a drop in the back. Okay, so the Reaver's out. Looks like KaL is on the move as well. So this is going to be an interesting battle, because we're gonna have to see what Jangbi's control is like. The Reaver hasn't been revealed yet. No doubt that Jangbi must know that something is up. He does have his first observer out, so the observer will see what is coming his way. He does have a nice concave. Looks like he's going to be sniping the shuttle. No, he doesn't. And the first Reaver comes out. Oh, beautifully done by Jangbi, he does get the Reaver, but he is forced to pull back, and looks like he actually is going to be lose. Oh, and that was a huge Goon hit as well. And you can see the Goon advantage is now extremely in KaL's favor, or more in KaL's favor, and there is a Zelda coupled in as well. So looks like KaL is going to be moving in. The probe drill will be coming in a bit late as well, so won't be catching any of the Goon except for a single one or single two. So this is doing great damage as well. So KaL is actually in a prime position to take this game. We don't see any other units coming in. The first Reaver from Jangbi is coming in, and it's going to be killed as well. Just more and more probes falling in. So I am expecting the GG any minute now from Jangbi. And yeah, GG. Pretty short game compared to our first game. Well done from KaL. So let's get our third game started. The third match is going to be Blue Storm fighting. So whoever wins this game will go up to 1 in the series, and I would say that's extremely important. So our red Protoss, or I guess yeah, like yellowish Protoss, top right is gonna be Jangbi. And our red Protoss, bottom left, is gonna be KaL. So in a way, when you think about it, even though Blue Storm is extremely different from some of the other maps this tournament, there's the same mechanism, that little choke near the expansion I feel both players can make use of. And we did see KaL make use of it in the first game on Loki 2. Of course, one other thing to consider, the big ramp outside the expansion. You know, parking a couple units there will make it extremely hard to break. And keep in mind, obviously, as the Goon count ramps up, you have to move them through the high ground, basically, this outside your expansion, so up the high ground. So whoever's able to control that will be able to control the game from my perspective. Now, Reavers, of course, do, especially with shuttle play, especially and how common it is in the PvP matchup, can obviously negate a bit of that advantage, but it's still an advantage nonetheless from my perspective. Now both players are kind of around the same time as well, so the pros will be meeting in the middle. Similar openings as well. We'll have to see at which point they both will be diverging, and what kind of a diverging it is. We do see the gas is actually coming in from Jangbi, but no gas just yet from KaL. So there's a chance that this is going to be a gate expand from KaL. So with technical difficulties, it looks like. Now, so the code now is actually finished for KaL as well. I believe it's still the same thing. Yeah, still the 1 gate core, basically. First Zelt is out from KaL, same as thing for Jangbi. I love Jangbi's position here though. This means that in order for KaL Zelt to get any scouting information, he has to go all the way around. Oh, and nicely done from KaL as well, just drilling the probe right through the Zealot and messing up a bit of the pathing there. Second gate is down from KaL. We'll have to see if a second gate will be added in for Jangbi. His first Dragoon is out though, so this can definitely deny the any more scouting. On the other hand, Jangbi is aware of the 2 gate as well, so we'll have to see what his follow-up is. I personally would love to see a bit of a pile there in the middle lines of KaL, especially with the fact that his Delta is all the way across the map, or at least not close enough to the main. So probably do more damage, but the first Goon is out as well, so this probe is not long for this word anymore, but a lot of information has been passed along to Jangbi before its death. No, it looks like it's actually going to be coming out, which is great as well. Every probe matters. The Nexus is down for KaL. I believe Jangbi is going to be getting his own Nexus as well. Yeah, so close timings as well. Now keep in mind it's 2 gate expand versus the 1 gate expand. But Jangbi does have a bit of an army advantage. Now, we did see the Dark Tempest used one in the first game. Could have been used better though. I would love to see Dark Tempest from either player. I think they can definitely have the uses on this map. So we'll have to see if either player goes for those. I more than likely Robo. Yeah, so we see the Robos coming down. Yeah, and both players are pretty close to even at this point. Second gate is being added in for Granite to match KaL's gate count. On the other hand, the Robo is finished for KaL, so we'll see if it's going to be Observatory again to start things off into the Robo Bay. Oh, and we see the title of Adun come in. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be DTs as well. I would love a DT drop, honestly. I think it'll actually be great. But it's more than likely we'll see just the shuttle for Reavers, basically. I believe this was a map that I saw Bisu versus Stork on, where Stork's DTs made short work of Bisu, basically. He was targeting the main and the expand with DTs, and Bisu just lost so many probes he had to quit, basically. So this map can definitely be great for those purposes, especially with how big the main is, so you can easily drop some unit, a DT and then leave it back there. And you see the archives coming in as well. Of course, again, keep in mind that means that HGs will high tempos will be faster for Jangbi than KaL, so that would be nice for him as well. But so far, both players have played it safe. We can see the first observer will be getting into KaL's base from Jangbi, so Jangbi will have an idea of what is going on, and he is adding going up to 4 gates. On the other hand, we haven't seen any Reaver tech or anything, but the observer from KaL is back in, and it looks like Jangbi's observer is going to be really close to being killed off. Yeah, and it's going to be dying. But at least Jangbi does know where things stand. So I would definitely say it was worth it. Third base is going up for KaL. And looks like KaL's also aware of the potential DT-HT threat. Since we're getting the inference on observer. So it looks like both players are happy still to sit back and just macro up and gain information. So again, not a bad idea. Now, first 2 DTs are out. No doubt from my perspective that it's likely that KaL is aware of the DTs. He must see them with his goons. You can kind of see the little shimmer on the screen. And we see the shuttle is going to be taking the DTs. But this looks like it's going to be intercepted, basically. So KaL is reading Jangbi extremely well. And the shuttle is about to go to no. So the shuttle just barely escapes. Beautifully read by KaL. That's the kind of plays he has to make. Because if those DTs get into his main, especially if his observer's out of position, there is no way for him to actually deny them. So a lot of pros will be killed. So first DT is down. Oh, nicely picked up, but there is a DT in the main of KaL, and I personally... So it looks like this DT is going to be dying. But there is an interesting position here, because keep in mind the DT is messing up the pathing here as well. But looks like the high ground is in KaL's advantage, and KaL does have his third base up as well. So if this third base mines or at least KaL is able to mine a bit more and gain the benefits, then he'll be in a really nice position, especially with the fact that the third of Jangbi just started recently. Now there is one DTA slipping through here as well. And it could be a lot of props that are being killed as well. But you can see there is detection here. Yeah, there is an observer right above the nexus as well. And beautifully done as well. So the props actually took out a DT2. That's three kills. That's gonna be 4 kills, 5 kills, and probably one more, 6 kills. Nicely done, nicely done. But the third of Jangbi, now Jangbi is in trouble. There is a lot of views coming his way. Does he have Storm? I believe he'll have at least 2 Storms. And looks like KaL is moving a bit further back basically. So that was a really nice bait of a Storm. Definitely not the greatest Storm. This is a better Storm, but again, KaL is still in a really nice position. So it looks like this third base actually might be broken. There's a lot of units here for KaL, so I don't know personally about Jangbi trying to engage this. And if, I mean, again, it's not speed zealous or anything like that, but the zealots are making contact with the goons. And this does mean that KaL is free to micro and target as he likes. Beautiful storm though from Jangbi, but this will push the goons back. So looks like Jangbi actually will be defending his third base, and KaL will be just fleeing back basically. Now, even with losing some of his armor and not being able to break the third, I still think KaL is in a better position. But Jangbi's third base is now mining. He is also up to the 7 gates. And I believe KaL has, yeah, I believe he has 4x3. Yeah, so he has about 7 as well, probably up 8. No, he has about 8 gates. I believe there's another one building as well, close to his third. If you go up to 9 gates, basically, a bit of a gateway advantage there. Now, speed is done on Jangbi's zealots. This is definitely nice for him as well. We'll see when speed kicks in for KaL. This is part of the advantage of having the citadel a bit earlier as well. But Storm, more than likely in the mix now for KaL. So Jangbi does have to be careful with the way he engages the army. A couple Storms can definitely ruin his day. Fourth base, on the other hand, is being taken by KaL in the top left. But I see what looks like a probe coming in, so a fourth base is probably going to be taken by Jangbi shortly. Because again, keep in mind he has control on his side of the map. So why not take a fourth base, especially if you know that eco-wise your opponent is in a better position. And a couple of cannons in East Mirror line. This is great, or is better for a bit of if there's any kind of drop action in either of your expansions. So +1 is finished for KaL. I didn't see any. We weren't shown the forge in Jangbi's bases to see if he's returning it. No, more than likely is. But he's still on 0, so there is, I believe, a bit of a power spike here for KaL. So KaL might be looking to go for the engagement here. I don't think it would be a bad idea for him. And it looks like Jangbi is actually planning to go as well. No, he just... So, just throwing a bit of zealots. But looks like it's going to be a storm drop, but nice probe pull, basically. So Jangbi acted really well there. Now keep in mind, there could also be a DT in here as well. He can also put the high top resist at the ridge there and storm as well. Doesn't look like he is going to do it, so KaL's not going to be risking it. But with this drop, again, between the probes moving back and forth and such, that does give him That doesn't mean there is no mining at that portion in time. The fourth is finished up for both players, is mining for both as well. So it's more than likely both of them will just try and harass each other and then go in for the one big push once they feel comfortable enough. We'll have to wait and see when that is. And whoever takes that big push will more than likely take the game, especially depending also on how much of an advantage they have afterwards. But both armies are looking quite fearsome as well. I personally feel a fifth base would not be a bad idea as well, if I was able to do it. Looks like another storm drop is coming in. We have to see what the probe pull is like. The probe pull is not that bad. That is, oh, fantastic second storm, and he even loses the shuttle as well, unfortunately. So second storm was great. First storm could have been better. And looks like another drop is coming in, but the probe pull is great. There is another couple of probes though. Oh, it looks like it was a DT drop actually. So this should be okay. A great job by Jangbi getting that, starting that DT, but there is a chance for an engagement in the middle. Looks like, yeah, it looks like KaL is actually going for it as well as Jangbi. Jangbi does have the high ground advantage, but there is a lot of zealots here, and a couple of good storms will melt a lot of these zealots. So what are the storms? Okay, beautiful storm there. There's a clump of zealots though. Jangbi is not doing the best micro, honestly. A lot of zealots are clumped in the middle. Just more and more storms are coming in from both sides as well. Looks like Jangbi might have enough. He's going to be breaking up the high ground as well. And we can see the same strategy is being used again in this match that KaL was using on Loki 2 with the cannons. Fifth base is finished and ready for KaL. I believe the fifth is being taken by Jangbi as well. The storm could have been better there. This is not a bad storm as well. A lot of units of Jangbi are walking in, so I like that storm much better. Jangbi does feel like he has an advantage here as well, so if he can get a couple of those high Templars, I believe that's what he's aiming for. I think this is great as well for him. So he is pushing all the way to the expansion. He does have quite the sizable army as well, but he doesn't want to over push from my perspective as well, because this army is wounded too. So we have to see what Jangbi's storm is like, and there's also DTs in the mix, and that is a beautiful storm as well. So it looks like Jangbi is actually, this is great for him as well. He is, again, that is a beautiful storm too. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Nexus is going to be going down. Yeah, that Nexus is down as well. There is also DTs here that are unaccounted for, but there is an observer here too. And a lot of the storms have been spent on both sides as well, but more and more of Jangbi's army is joining the game, or joining the fray, and even more are coming in too, so I think this is going to be Jangbi's game to take. If he gets those gateways, that means he will also have a gateway advantage on top, and plus he has his fifth base mine, so it's going to be 5 versus 4 base eco. Also, one other thing to keep in mind, with the 3 gates down, again, that means a gateway advantage for Jangbi, and at the same time, that means mining-wise, it's going to be about 2 bases mining compared to the probably about 3 bases mining. Yeah, and it looks like this game is over. So Jangbi is going to be taking our second game, or third game. Going to go up 2-1 in the series. So one more game after this and he will be going to the next round. Just expecting the GG probably more likely once the Nexus goes down, because it'll be extremely hard for KaL to fight from this position. And GG comes in. So Jangbi takes our third game. So let's get the fourth match started. Do or die for KaL. Fighting. So our yellow Protoss at the 9 o'clock spawn is going to be KaL. And our red Protoss at the 6 o'clock spawn is going to be Jangbi. So spawn wise, it reminds me quite a bit of their Zodiac game. Of course, I do personally prefer Jangbi's position here. his expansion is a bit tucked away in the back, bottom right. That means it's a little more less prone to harass, or it's going to be a little hard to harass with. Of course, I would personally love to see to see if either player will have some kind of a specialized strategy for this map, like a 12 Nexus or something along those lines, or it's going to be similar to some of what we've seen previously, things like the Gateway Expand or Robo Expand. I think they're all viable on the map. It depends on just how risky you want to play. But if you are able to get the advantage economical wise, that will definitely put you in a great position. Now we see the gateway coming in from KaL, same thing from Jangbi as well, and they are going to be scouting as well. Jangbi should be scouting KaL first. And it looks like KaL actually will be scouting Jangbi first as well with his scouting partner. That's very interesting. So neither one of them will have any advantage information wise. Oh, and it looks like it's actually a second gate basically. So, and even before the first is done. Okay, so 2 gates from both players as well. So Z on Z action. I don't believe I've seen a gas from either player as well. So it's gonna come down. Oh, but this is really nicely done from KaL. This is the kind of things he wanted. He's trapped basically 3 probes in here, it looks like. Or no, it looks like actually the 1 probe, but he has blocked access to 2 of those mineral fields. So I still say this is pretty decent on his part. Likewise, this will also force his zealots to stay back in the base just to try and kill that pylon. But I do see what looks like something is, yeah, no, looks like it's Jangbi's probe, just carrying around just to see if there's any nexus. No. So no guess from either player just yet, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's going to be a Nexus from KaL. Oh, and this is beautifully done from Jangbi as well. The pylon there will delay the what looks like an inevitable Nexus. Nicely done as well. You can kind of see just how much time this is buying Jangbi. On the other hand, Jangbi just wants to take his own as well, and oh, and nicely done from KaL as well. Now, of course, keep on the R2 zealots here with the probe, so this pylon will be going down much faster. But the first zealot is coming in as well, and I believe at least a single probe can be killed. No, it looks like the probes will ward off the first zealot, or the zealot coming in from KaL. But that's a lot of lost mine time as well with the drill. But the Nexus has come down as well for Jangbi. So both players again are pretty close in how they are playing the matchup, aside from some of the shenanigans we saw from KaL. And both of them have added also the gas as well. So chorus coming in from KaL. Note that the chorus probably coming in from Jangbi as well. Yeah, so that's more than likely the core there. And looks like the probe actually just managed to get in. So again, KaL's great job by KaL. He is getting a better read of the situation as well. Especially with managing to sneak the probe in. His Nexus is done a bit earlier than Jangbi's, not much earlier though. And a bit of a cheeky pylon there. Now keep in mind, this zealot is stuck in the back. We have to see how many zealots Jangbi has in the front, because it's 5 zealots heading towards. Oh no, 7 zealots heading towards his way, and he only has the 5. So this could be extremely bad if 2 zealots don't pop out for Jangbi right now. Basically, 7 versus 5. The advantage is definitely in KaL's favor, and he's going to be targeting down the gateways. But he is doing a great job with adjustments as well, and it looks like he actually is getting a lot of damage. So KaL has done a great job so far with the micro as well. On the other hand, a lot of Jangbi's Zets are running away in the back, so it looks like, wow, even more and more damage being inflicted by KaL basically. So Jangbi does have to fix up his micro, because looks like he actually is losing. He is bleeding way too many Zelts here, and the Zelt count is increasingly in KaL's favor. And we're down to what, the 3 Zelts versus the 6? Or 3 versus the 6 basically. And now when you have probes fighting, that's typically a sign that things are definitely not in a good position basically. And even if the Zelts all die for KaL, KaL is still in a great position here. So Jangbi definitely in trouble in this game. Oh, and we even see the DT fall up as well. There's no Forge here. Do we even have a robot? And the robot is just getting started. Okay, so DTs, once they come in, this game can definitely add once the DTs make it into Jangbi's base, because he doesn't have any detection coming in. And it's no doubt that the KaL is just waiting for the aircraft to finish, and the DTs should be making right now. Now the robo is just about done. The observer should be put down ASAP, but one other problem is that the army of Jangbi is honestly extremely small. Like what, a couple of zealots? On the other hand, we see that what, the two goons, 4 or 5 zealots coming in basically, and the DTs are going to probably be joining us too. Now there is a bit more information, so this actually is looking a bit better. So I personally don't know about KaL doing this basically. I don't think he has enough. So yeah, definitely a smart idea to pull back. But yeah, once the DTs come in and start hitting away at the probes, I think Jangbi will realize the situation he is in. Observer is out. Okay, so we're gonna be getting some ops coming in, but the DT has been revealed, and be really nice pull from Jangbi. He realized the DT, but I feel like KaL also can do a better job with the target find, because the DT is just walking all the way to the back, and the observer is out, or the observer is out. So we're gonna have to see. Okay, really nice drill. That's only 1 kill. So that DT is going to go down. This is really nicely defended from Jangbi, also considering the position he was in. But on the other hand, more and more units are being rallied, and his gateway are under attack. So he's definitely going to be losing this match at this point. Because also keep in mind the gateway count is heavily in KaL's favor. We saw he was adding what, 3 or 4 gates. So it's gonna be, you know, the 5 gates, 6 gates versus the 1 gate basically. So looks like KaL will be taking this 4th game. Another quick game, which is very interesting. So these games so far looks like the shorter the game. So GG comes in from Jangbi. Series is tied 2-2. Looks like the shorter games, KaL is winning them basically with some really nice strategies. The longer games seem to be Jangbi's favor, so we have to see what Game 5 is like. So the final game, Game 5, is going to be played on the same map as Map 1, or first game, Loki 2, fighting. So our orange Protoss at the 2 o'clock spawn is going to be KaL. And our red Protoss at the 8 o'clock spawn, it's going to be Jangbi. So position-wise, reverse of the first game. We'll have to see though if the strategies overall will remain the similar for both players, or if anyone will try a risky play. I would say more than likely probably more safe standard plays, just because this is a deciding game for both players and the winner will make it to the finals. And a lot of players will tend to play more safe in these situations. On the other hand, from the previous games, we did see if the game goes into the long macro, like a really long macro game, Jangbi does have, I would say, a better advantage, so to speak, than KaL. But the shorter, more on-point games, KaL's definitely the winner in those, basically. And we saw that, again, just in the previous last 4 games. So the gates from other player, both are going to be scouting as well. We'll have to see if we're going to see any deviation with any of the gas timings, or if any of them will basically add a second gate or just expand behind it. Oh, nicely done from Jangbi as well. So Jangbi is denying that probe, basically. Now keep in mind, both players do want to know what the other is doing. Oh, but fine, the probe does make it through. So second gate's added in from Jangbi. On the other hand, I believe it's still the 1 gate from KaL. Of course, this will be scattered as well, so we'll have to see what KaL's reaction is like. No gas just yet though from Jangbi, so it's going to be just pure Zell to start things off. Yeah, and it's only the 1 gate, and again, no gas. Oh, this is a really nice pylon as well, a pylon block. But of course, there are going to be some Zells here. Keep in mind that this pylon block does buy more time for KaL, so whether he wants to get another gateway up, or whether he wants to get a couple units out and hold things at his ramp. But it's definitely extremely interesting to see no gas or no second gate just yet, so it might be just an expand on KaL's part. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a gateway expand on KaL. This is very interesting personally. I mean, if Jangbi sends a lot of his units straight up, and looks like that's what Jangbi is doing, this could potentially be problematic for KaL to try and defend that Nexus. Now, of course, keep in mind there is the rallying distance as well, and that's something that Jangbi will have to keep in mind too. Plus, there is a probe that is alive in Jangbi's base. But as the way things are, it looks like KaL actually will get away with this, basically, because it looks like he added in a second gateway in his base. On the other hand, he does have some Zells chasing around that probe, and there's another Zell in his base as well that he has to contend with too. So KaL's playing this really well. And what's going to happen is that by the time the Zell gets clean, that expansion is probably going to be finished and fortified enough that Jangbi can't even break anymore. You can see the expansion is finished, the probe production has started from there. On the other hand, a lot of Jangbi's, or half of Jangbi's army is stuck in his base, just trying to defend against that 1 zealot. And of course kill that probe. So cores coming in. Oh, nicely done as well by KaL. Sniping another probe too. Now there is enough here zealots from KaL, so his expansion is safe, no worries there. And the Nexus is finished as well. Now looks like, I personally don't know about this person. We do see 2 more Zealots joining the fray though, so if they do make it in time before any other Zealots come come in, but you can see more and more zelts are coming in. So it's going to come down to how well the engagement is. So this is really nice from Jangbi. He is getting a nice surface area as well, but I love KaL's pullbacks as well. This does mean his zelts are, but okay, it's going. So the zelts are formed from both sides. We're going to have to see what the aftermath is. So definitely looking in KaL's favor from my perspective, although Jangbi is doing a fantastic job as well. And you can kind of see 4 versus 3 zealots, but all of them are wounded. But again, the distance that they have to travel means that there is enough time for KaL to add more. And he's also adding 2 gates as well on top. And the City of Adu is finished too, so no doubt DTs are probably coming in. We see Robo coming in from Jangbi, so he should have observers out in time. So first Goon is out from Jangbi. So Goon is also being researched as well, but we will have to see if Jangbi will add any more gateways. Oh, it's interesting. Okay, so we see the Citadel done. We don't see any archives put down just yet, just a Robo as a follow-up. Keep in mind, Jangbi does not really know, or KaL does not know what Jangbi is up to. His probe was killed a bit earlier on, so for all he knows, DTs might be coming his way. And likewise as well for Jangbi. So both players are playing in the dark as well, just making these decisions, or calculated decisions. Now, one thing is, keep in mind, it could be also just for speed, which is why there's a lot of zelts here. So if speed kicks in, then this armor would also be extremely fearsome, basically. So that might be the reason there's only a Citadel and nothing else. And keep in mind, again, this armor will also circumvent. Okay, there you go. So speed has kicked in, and it's going to probably be non-stop zealot aggression at this point. So Jangbi understands the situation. He is pulling back. I think it's definitely a good idea for him, and he does see the speed has kicked in as well. The question is, does Jangbi have enough at home to actually hold this off? And honestly, I don't think he does. You can kind of see the wall is coming in. He is trying to block as much as he can. And if he's managed to block this, then he can... Oh, but this is a beautiful surround by KaL. So KaL is actually on top of the goons. He is on top of the zealots as well. Jangbi is being forced back too. He's going to be losing a lot of his units, and it's going to be 4 zealot production at a time compared to the 2 in Jangbi's base. So Jangbi is in trouble. And a lot of probes are dying as well. So a lot of these probe kills, again, will put KaL in a further advantage as well. Plus, he probably honestly has enough zealots here to can probably even target the Nexus. And on top of it, he is getting his own expansion behind it too. So it looks like KaL actually might be taking our 5th game at this point. So it looks like Jangbi will actually be eliminated in this series. He just does not have enough to contend with this many zealots, basically. Of course, a bit of better micro would definitely help in KaL's favor. I feel like targeting just the Nexus probably would be better for him. Yeah, there you go. He's targeting the Nexus as well. Might as well kill and just run out, basically. Beautifully done from KaL. So it's 2 base versus 1 base, plus there is a 3rd base coming in for KaL even before the... Oh no, the 3rd is even finished at this point. So yeah, for sure at this point KaL is winning this game. Looked pretty certain earlier on. And at the same time, of course, keep in mind that observers are also out as well for KaL. So DT shenanigans or anything like that, they won't be really working anymore, basically. I believe the only way for Jangbi to also try and come back from this is to do like a double expand and just try and play defensive. But even at that point, honestly, it's extremely difficult. You can kind of see these cannons at each base as well. So KaL's playing it safe. He's adding more gateways. He has observers out. No doubt Storm is probably being researched, if not already finished. But basically, KaL's playing this as safe as possible. Now the DT can get into... No, it's going to be extremely close. So the DT can't even get into the main either, so this DT is also strained as well. Oh, so it looks like, okay, so it looks like it's a bit of a weird base race scenario basically. So Jangbi is going to be attacking KaL's expansion into the main. Keep in mind, there is about, what, 7 gate production here coming in. There is an observer here for the DTs as well, and you can kind of see, you can probably see a lot of cannons being added in, or I can see Jangbi just adding a lot of cannons as well, or KaL adding a lot of cannons. So I think nice idea from Jangbi, but I think I would say again, KaL's still going to more than likely be winning this game. And GG comes in from, so yeah. So KaL is going to be taking this series 3-2. Well done, well done.